My name is Margaret Ann Windsor, and I'm showing a photo here of Elizabeth. And Sir Terry Waite. I was at the hearings when they were closed down, the Oliver North hearings, July of '87 in D.C. Oliver North had shredded documents and I don't know what all, but anyway, he was a part of Sir Terry Waite putting a chip in Sir Terry Waite when and sending him out. And I'll read you what the British officials had warned Sir Terry Waite with bodyguards before the kidnapping in '85 not to return to Beirut on his final mission. Well, there's other, I don't know if it mentions it in this article, but it was on other articles, and that Sir Terry Waite had a chip put in his arm. In other words, and Oliver North was a part of that, and putting it in there, having it put there, that they could locate him. So he spent, I believe I'm correct, 5 years as a hostage there in deplorable conditions, horrible. That's Sir Terry Waite. Now then, while this woman, Elizabeth, who is not the queen, she's a fraud, the whole brood of them. Her father helped illegally take down my father, King Edward VIII. And this is me, Margaret Ann Windsor. King Edward VIII is my father. And my mother, the Queen Mom, the legitimate one, the only one there should be, is Claudia Ruth O'Keeffe Windsor, sister to American artist Georgia O'Keeffe. And here's Georgia's picture. I don't have one of my mom. Now then, I think the fact that I don't have someone doing all this for me. I live a horrifying life. I have. Well, this woman has stole my money, title, sold out the British. By the way, I want to show this while I'm at it. Larry Flint sent me out, or flew me out during a political campaign. And in April of '84, he did do an article. Well, I don't see it. Yeah, right at the moment. Here it is. But in it, he talks about Larry McDonald, U.S. Congressman, and the plane was down. He's the medical doctor from Piedmont Hospital in Atlanta, and I had written about him in a medical malpractice book and about mind control and modifying behavior. And now it's easy enough to Google it and all that. It doesn't tell you how that agencies modify behavior and program people. It's being done, and it's without your awareness. I won't go into that. I wrote about it and had antifreeze put in me. Should have died. Ended up across the state line working for Madison County, Alabama. That's in Huntsville. Fred Simpson. And I was living at Warren House, so I'll just leave it at that. I hadn't found out about my kidnapping until '83, after I was out at Flint's in that campaign. But Warren House was like the Warren, associated with Warren Commission. It's like links to my identity. The Warren Commission covered up the Kennedy assassination. Kennedy, JFK is linked to my kidnapping. His father was ambassador to Great Britain, Joe Kennedy, and he was sent there as ambassador by Roosevelt, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So you've got the Illuminati, is what they're called now, Freemason, New World Order. Elizabeth is a member of that, and so is Charles. So are the Clintons, and you can go on. And it's posted, and you can't go into the meetings or anything like this. And I guess what's shocking is the media is the ones that are mouthpiece for the Illuminati, the New World Order. So you hear what they want you to hear. I've turned all this over. They knew it before me about my kidnapping. Again, I'm going to say that in case I'm veering off course here. Oh, wow. This is my Uncle George, illegal George the Sixth. He had to take down my father. My father was never married to Wallace Simpson, the double married Wallace Simpson. My father was married to my mom, one of the greatest men that you could ever know, and that's why they took him out and kidnapped me, his daughter. This is Elizabeth's so-called queen mom. She's kin to the Rothschilds. The Illuminati is headed up by the Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Bilderbergers, Kennedys, and then you've got some of the blacks in America that went with the Kennedys, and they were taking over Great Britain, and that meant Africa and all that was British. Here's my dad. I'm going to show it again. This is one of the few that you'll see of my dad photos. Can you believe a 99-year seal put on a wonderful man, and that was the reason they took him down. Married to my mom, all legal. And I found out about it. The media, everybody knew about it before me, and I've turned it over to the media anyway, and over and over and over. Nobody will touch it. And the horrible things they've done to me and my sons who are heirs after me. This is Wallace Simpson, the American spy. All of it a lie. All of it to take down my father that became the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, stole my father and mother's identity, my identity. They gave me the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married at Childers, and brought me to Moulton, Alabama in 1941 when I was 2 years old. And I'm the legal heir of Victoria II, so if I'm not showing you anything here, I did want to mention this without pulling out the other. I was writing about, and they've killed stars, and these have been done in patterns and links so you can prove it if it's ever put up before the world and they have to view it. But one of the mind control murders, well, it was murdering him too. He's a victim of mind control. Is Timothy McVeigh, and he was put to death for the Oklahoma City bombing. It's the people giving the commands and programming that are the ones that are committing the acts. He's no more than a gun that somebody pulls a trigger on. The gun can't be prosecuted. And in this case, the weapon, they've made him the gun or the man, and he's a victim. But he's dead, and he tried to tell him they put a chip, the U.S. military did, up his buttocks. And that was implantable biochips. I think Tex Mars wrote that. It's about the New World Order, Project Lucid. Now, I wanted to, there was an attachment, by the way, to my father's forced abdication. It was orchestrated by the New World Order, Illuminati. And then I was born, and that just made it terrific. They kidnapped me, and there was an addendum to the forced abdication, which was illegal anyway. It wasn't even my father. Anyway, I would like for it to be unsealed if she hasn't done away with it. And I'm speaking of who they're calling Her Royal Majesty Elizabeth II, who's a phony and a traitor and should be tried for war crimes. Seriously. And no, I'm not joking. And she's not the legal heir. I did want to mention the aircraft carrier that she is to be commissioned. Well, anyway, Elizabeth is referred to as Queen. July 2014, Elizabeth is the name of the lead ship of the Queen Elizabeth class of aircraft carriers, the largest warship ever. And that's RO-8, and then Prince of Wales, RO-9. When they took down my father and kidnapped me and brought me to Moulton, Alabama, stole my identity, They signed illegal trees, and I know I'm showing my foot here, and